Joining us, it's been a day of deep grief and solemn reflection at the Independence Square here in the capital, Accra, as the nation bids a final farewell to the 8 victims of the Adansi Ekrofom helicopter crash. The tragedy claimed the lives of 8 patriots, and you have them on your screen. The Defense Minister Edward Kofi Buama, who actually also perished in that tragic aircraft, crash. Then we have Murtala Mohammed, Environment Minister. Muniru Mohammed, Acting Deputy National Coordinator. Samuel Sapon is the NDC, or was the NDC Vice Chairman. And Samuel Abuaji, the NDC Obuasi East Parliamentary Candidate. And Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala. Flying Officer Manin Chum Ampedu. Sergeant Ernest Adomensa. Now, they perished in the line of duty when their helicopter went down at Adansi Ekrofom in the Ashanti region on August 6th. Today, tribute poured in, raw, heartfelt, and tear-filled from wives, children, families, and the state, each recalling their sacrifice, service, and the indelible mark they left on the country. First, let's bring you a report of the tribute by the wives of the 8.
Describing her late husband as a loving and perfect father, wife of late Defense Minister Rita Omani-Buama said he did his best as a family man despite his busy schedule.
Despite your busy schedule as a medical doctor, and later in your political roles, you either bathe the children every morning or dress them up whilst I bathe them. You were their favorite teacher because you knew their syllabus back to back. You also had a strict timetable for their private study, yet made room for play and adventure.
Wife of Dr. Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed described her husband as a man whose presence was a gift to all who knew him.
He listened patiently, sympathized, and then said, my dear, the president has called me. At that moment, I realized I wasn't just sharing my husband with friends, family, or the community. I was sharing him with the president of Ghana as well. That was Mohammed, always in demand, always important to someone, but still finding the time to care for his family. His daughters will comb his hair, or perhaps I should say his head, because he had no hair. He loved to play horse with the children. These were the moments I smiled, because then he was not wearing the hat of the Minister of State, but that of a dad instead.
For wife of Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala, the joy of birthing their first child months ago has been dimmed. But her consolation is in the assurance that he died knowing God.
You have left me broken. This was not the plan, Peter. This was not it. Bafemi, please come back. Please. Come and hold me and tell me this was all a very terrible nightmare and that is all over now. I am supposed to be consoled with the fact that you died knowing God and that there's rest for you until we meet again.
Naval Lieutenant Irajwa Komitre tearfully stated how she will miss her distant partner, Flying Officer Manin Chum Ampafo.
You were truly your name to me. You were my best friend. Who will respond just when I say cassette just? Who will make my life comfortable now? Manin, please respond and answer me. This silence is too loud. I keep checking my phone for a message or a picture or a call. I have been checking since Wednesday. What do I do now? Everything feels surreal. And sometimes I expect you to walk in with that beautiful smile of yours.
Samuel Abuaji's wife assured her late husband she will do well to cherish every moment they shared together.
This year, on my birthday, you wrote, Happy birthday, my love. You are not only my wife, but also my best friend, the greatest blessing in my life. I thank God every day for you, and I look forward to creating more beautiful memories together. Enjoy your day. I love you deeply.
Wife of Sergeant Ernest Adomensa revealed how he loved the helicopter Zenai, adding, she's still waiting for his return from the August 6th journey.
It's been days, and you have not called at 5 a.m. for us to pray. On the morning of the Wednesday, I called you and I told you that I woke up very sad. I do not know why. Immediately, your first solution to everything, which was prayer, was what you suggested. You prayed, and you said you had a flight to Obuasi, and you'll be back. I'm still waiting. I do not know for how long I would continue waiting, but I'll still wait.
When wife of Alhaji Muniru Limona took the stage, she was full of praise for her husband, who she says was always willing to be a helping hand to many.
You gave me love that was constant and deep, and you made our home a place of warm love, mutual respect, and faith. I saw the man behind the public figure. I saw the discipline that guided your actions, the compassion that touched those around you, and the strength that carried not only our family, but the responsibilities of the nation.
For wife of Samuel Sapon, the vacuum left will never be filled.
The news of your departure continues to cut through my nerves from a vacuum of unimaginable pain in the heart. Oh, Sapon Kumenkuma, do you hear my call? Come back. Tell me this news is not true. The day is so gloomy. The sun is gone. The weather is thick. Darkness is falling, and the place is empty. Hear our voice. Hear our voice. Your wife and your children needs you, my dear husband.
Well, it was even more emotional when the children of the fallen heroes took the mic. First is children of Dr. Edward Omani Buama, then the children of Alhaji Dr. Murtala Mohammed.
Who we call in the middle of the night when no one else is awake and we have questions. Who will have all the answers to our problems. Who will conduct experiments at home just because you knew would study it that year. Who else would fill the bathtub with our toys and objects just to teach us Archimedes' principle? We have lost greatly. You are irreplaceable, Eduardo. We are pained, but even in our pain, we choose to hold on to your legacy and take consolation in the fact that you are resting in the bosom of the Almighty God.
Your impact will be felt for generations to come. Even as we mourn your passing, you keep giving us fresh memories of your moments with us. All the people gathered here signal to me and the family that God will have mercy on your departed soul. If words, admonitions, testimonies, track records, worthy legacies, and priceless impacts were to be the givers of life, we wouldn't be here to read this painful tribute of your departure.
And Parliament also paid a moving tribute, describing the victims as radiant stars whose legacy will continue to illuminate the nation's path. In a heartfelt message delivered on behalf of the House, Speaker Alban Bagwin described the crash as an irretrievable loss. The following report has more.
The Speaker of Parliament has expressed deep sorrow on behalf of the nation for the 8 Ghanaians who died in the helicopter crash on August 6th. The Speaker reflected on the brevity of life, emphasizing the profound loss felt across the country. The Speaker described the 8 heroes as radiant stars who illuminated Ghana's path through their dedication to public service and the nation's progress.
They were the loving hands that cradled children, the wise voices that guided families, the charitable hands that fed families and whole communities. the compassionate hearts that uplifted our dear country. Just days ago, many of these fallen heroes stood among us, united in grief as we bid farewell to our dear friends and comrades, Kobina Adekoka and Sampi Yabe. Like us, these fallen heroes came to honor the memory of their compatriots and to say goodbye to comrades they cherish.
The Chief of the Defense Staff, Major General William Ejapon, also paid a heartfelt tribute to the 8 fallen heroes, describing them as brave men who served with pride but fell with honor. In his moving eulogy, the Chief of Defense Staff praised the late Defense Minister, Dr. Edward Omaniboame's short but impactful tenure, noting his transformative leadership and unwavering commitment to excellence in service of Ghana's armed forces.
Dr. Omaniboame's short tenure as Minister for Defense was marked by transformative leadership, innovation, and unwavering commitment to excellence. As part of a broader agenda of resetting Ghana, he advocated and implemented policies that sought to raise the standards of the Ghana Armed Forces. Squadron Peter Anala was a pilot whose capability combined advanced piloting skills and deep technical knowledge. He was commissioned into the operations branch of the Ghana Air Force in 2014. After his ab initio pilot training in the United States, he was awarded both a private and commercial rotorcraft license and an advanced instrument ratings certification. His integration of flight safety protocols into operational planning enhanced mission success.
Acting Chief Justice Paul Bafuboni also says the 8 Ghanaians who died in the August 6th helicopter crash left at a time least expected, reminding the nation that life is fleeting. In a tribute on behalf of the judiciary and the judicial service at the state funeral at the Black Star Square, he described the fallen heroes as 8 radiant stars whose light illuminated our nation's path and lamented their sudden passing.
Let's bring you more messages, this time from the workplaces of the 8 heroes.
The casket of the remaining 6 fallen heroes arrived at the Independence Square draped in proud national colors. Among the mourners are colleagues, close families, wives and children whose grief heavily hangs on the hearts of many. The staff at the Ministry of Defense say he was an innovative leader who has had great impact in the few months he spent with them.
As part of the Reset Ghana agenda, he championed the President's directive to revitalize the Defense Industries Holding Company Limited, DHOC, envision its expansion into Defense Industrial Development Corporation with private sector integration. His dream was for DHOC to spearhead Ghana's industrial revolution, ensuring self-sufficiency in military production and reducing dependency on imports. Tragically, he was to receive the expert report on this transformative agenda just days after his untimely demise.
Staff of the Ministry of Environment described their former boss, Dr. Murtala Muhammad, as an affable man and never discriminated.
He operated an open door policy, receiving everyone from high-ranking officials to ordinary citizens with the same warmth and respect. He would often say with that charming smile, and I quote, "I don't have a door," end of quote. His demise is a tremendous loss to MES, Ghana and the African continent, particularly in the area of environment, science and technology leadership.
The National Democratic Congress, NDC, says it has lost staunch comrades in Dr. Samuel Sapong, Samuel Abuaji, and Alhaji Muniru, who could have stayed a bit longer to complete the work they have started.
His life reminds us that true leadership is measured not by titles held, but by the lives we've touched, and the values we've upheld. Rest well, comrade. Your work is done. Your race is run. And your name will live in the annals of the NDC. Cadets may go, cadets may come, but the revolution has come to stay.
Behind all these families is a nation in grief, a people who are hopeful that the memories of these heroes live on, and the tragedy of August 6 remains the last.
Well, government has promoted 3 Ghana Armed Forces personnel who died in the August 6 helicopter crash with new ranks formally conferred by the military in recognition of their service. The promotions will reflect in the benefit due their families. At a solemn state funeral in Accra, government also announced a special fund to cater for the children they left behind. There's more in the following report.
A solemn send-off for 6 of the 8 who paid the ultimate price on August 6 in the deadly helicopter crash.
Prepare to raise.
President John Mahama says their sacrifice will never be forgotten, conferring posthumous promotions on 3 of the fallen.
These are not just symbolic gestures. They represent the rightful place these officers have earned in our Republic's Roll of Honor.
Wing Commander Peter Bafemi Anala, Flight Lieutenant Manan Chum Ampedu, and Flight Sergeant Ernest Ado. Titles they never lived to wear, but which will now shape the benefit for their loved ones.
Squadron Leader Peter Bafemi Anala is promoted to the rank of Wing Commander. Flying Officer Manan Chum Ampedu is promoted to the rank of Flight Lieutenant. Sergeant Ernest Adomensa is promoted to the rank of Flight Sergeant.
To secure their children's future, the President announced a Children's Support Fund seeded with 500,000 Ghana cedis from Stanbic Bank.
The Children's Support Fund for the children of the victims of the 6th August helicopter crash, as it has officially been named, will cover education from primary school through to tertiary or technical training, healthcare, including medical insurance and specialized care where required, and welfare support, clothing, shelter, and essential living expenses. I wish to express my thanks to the Stanbic Bank that has opened an account with an initial contribution of 500,000 Ghana cedis. Government will make an immediate seed contribution to this fund and will operationalize and publish a detailed framework of the Children's Support Fund within the next 30 days.
Honored in death and leaving behind a promise the nation says it will keep. For JoyNews, Michael Ashali.
Well, the Ministry of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovations has imposed a daily fine of 10,000 Ghana cedis on MultiChoice Ghana, the operators of DSTV, for failing to submit critical pricing data requested under the Electronic Communications Act, ECA. The fine takes effect from Friday, August 15, 2025. There's more in the following report.
The ministry had requested DSTV to provide detailed information on bouquet prices, tax components, and comparative subscription charges from at least 6 African countries. This data was necessary to support meaningful engagement on reducing subscription fees for Ghanaian customers, despite being granted an extension until Monday, August 11, 2025. DSTV failed to meet the deadline. Sector Minister Sam George emphasized that the law is clear and the ministry will enforce it. The minister also assured that once the data is submitted, it will undergo an objective review. If the evidence shows taxes are the sole reason for high prices, he will advocate for a tax review. If not, DSTV is expected to comply with the directive to make subscriptions more affordable. The ministry had earlier warned that if no price reduction agreement is reached by September 6, 2025, DSTV's operating license could be suspended. This warning followed the company's refusal to commit to lowering subscription fees despite proposals from the ministry. The daily fine of 10,000 Ghana cedis will be applied until DSTV submits the requested pricing data. The ministry's decision underscores its commitment to protecting consumer interests and ensuring compliance with regulatory requirements.
Details of that particular story will be on Prime Business in our subsequent bulletins. Now, away from that, in the wake of the political race in the upcoming by-elections, political parties are urged to adopt political maturity and put aside party and personal interest in order to properly provide welfare services for the Ghanaian citizen. This was revealed at the African Political Party Summit organized by the African Governance Center in partnership with the government of Ghana. Rodalyn Abensa has more in the following report.
Held under the theme From Politics to Prosperity, Strengthening Inter-Party Collaboration for Africa's Development and Economic Transformation, political leaders and civil society renewed commitment to step up efforts in democracy, development and unity. Speaking at the summit, National Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Johnson Esiedu Nketia, called on political parties to shift from being election-winning machines to enduring institutions that channel political competition into constructive governance.
We've acknowledged that when politics becomes transactional, institutions suffer. When the long view is abandoned, the people's trust erodes. This summit has reminded us that political parties must be more than election-winning machines. They must be enduring institutions that channel political competition into constructive governance, that provide the intellectual and policy foundations for economic transformation, and that embody the discipline, vision, and moral leadership necessary for national progress.
Chief of Staff for the Republic of Ghana, Julius Deborah, also commended the Africa Governance Center for ensuring inter-party collaboration and promoting cultural integrity. He highlighted the need for political parties and governmental bodies to put into consideration the psyche and heritage of their people to properly construct a multi-party system.
I also heard you spoke about trying to build our democracy on our traditions and heritage, because naturally, if you want to practice multi-party democracy without necessarily factoring the base of your people, the psyche of your people, and the heritage of the people, you may end up building castles in the air. And so I'm so happy that you stress on that point, that part of your declaration should be that going forward, we should build our multi-party democracy based on the heritage of our people.
The Africa Political Party Summit 2025 marks a milestone for Africa's political landscape, signaling a new era for inter-party cooperation, democratic renewal, and shared responsibility for the continent's future. Rodalyn Abensa's report read to you.
You're still watching JoyNews Prime with me, Carlos Caloni. We'll take a short breather. We'll return with more. Please stay. Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying with us. Now, let's take you to Ashaiman, because a tense standoff erupted this afternoon between traders at the Ashaiman main market and the Municipal Assembly's task force, resulting in the vandalism of several stalls and wares. Eyewitnesses say the clash was sparked by a long-standing dispute over a parcel of land inside the market, which the traders insist they have occupied for years. Tensions, however, escalated when a private developer allegedly moved in to begin construction despite a court injunction obtained by the traders. The traders accused the developer of ignoring the injunction and pushing ahead with the project, triggering today's confrontation. Fortunately, we've been joined by the municipal chief executive of the area, Freeman Chekpo, for details on this particular development. Thank you so much for your time. First of all, has this incident actually come to your attention?
Good evening to your viewers. The portal of the end is not appropriate. What happened is that the Ashaiman Municipal Assembly is undertaking decongestion on our principal streets. And this decongestion is happening on the Ashaiman traffic light to the underbridge. The area that is in question is opposite the police station. And people have built on the walkways. So this demolition took place this morning. And that is what it is. It has nothing to do with a developer court injunction or court case between some residents.
Right, but what is actually informing this decongestion exercise, and where are you taking these traders to?
So this decongestion exercise has come as a result of people selling on the streets. If you remember, 2 years ago, a car ran into sellers and we lost a life. Now, in the last 4 years, the assembly has gone into partnership with a developer to develop a market, which we call the Ni Anan Ajo market. And that market, we now have 1,284 shops, stores, and stalls within that shop, within that market center. And all these traders, some of them have acquired shops or stores within that market, but have refused to move in. So the exercise is to make sure that the new market that has been built is occupied, and then also people move from doing business on the streets. So this is the exercise that we are undertaking.
And are you very sure the number you're mentioning, looking at the street of Ashaiman, the number of people who apply their trades on the market, that new market will be able to contain all of them?
Fortunately, Ashaiman has 3 major markets. We have the first major market at the traffic light, which we call the Ashaiman main market. The second market I just spoke about is the Ni Anan Ajo market. And then the third market is the Na Amui market or the Mandela market. All these 3 markets put together will be able to contain every trader in Ashaiman. What we need to do is to ensure that all the traders ply their businesses within the markets, but not on the streets.
How do you intend sustaining that, before I let you go? Because this is not the first time that's happening in Ashaiman. And so others have tried, they've not been successful. What is your strategy this time to ensure that the streets of Ashaiman are actually kept free of traders?
Within this particular decongestion exercise, the Ashaiman Municipal Assembly has taken the decision that within the next 4 weeks, we will do the decongestion exercise with the security forces included. While the exercise is going on, we are going to plant cut-offs around the pedestrian walkways so that we will be able to separate the walkway from the main roads. It is expected that within these 4 weeks, we will plant these barricades by the roads. And then if for the 4 weeks, we maintain all the people in all these markets, and the assembly is involved in ensuring that each trader is allocated space within these markets. It is our expectation that within this 1 month, we'll place all our markets, and our streets will also be free for vehicular traffic.
We thank you so much. We will leave it here, but we'll still keep our eyes on the situation there in Ashaiman. The way from the government has announced plans to introduce a new tax targeting local assemblies, a move expected to boost internally generated funds and improve service delivery. But some assembly executives argue the directive lacks transparency safeguards, warning it could drain resources from already underfunded districts without clear proof where the money will be reinvested. Now, a statement from the Ministry of Local Government outlines the framework, timelines, and compliance measures for the rollout. We'll bring you the details of that statement shortly. But first, listen to Frank Nelson Aka, the national president of the Ghana Assembly Members Association, making the call for clear guidelines for the deductions.
Concerned citizens of the nation, we don't have problem as to payment of the tax on our allowances. But the issue that we, the assembly members, are having now is the uniformity of this tax component. Some assemblies are deducting 20%, others are also deducting 10%, whilst some assemblies too are not deducting. So we want uniformity in this tax component that has been directed by the government. We don't have problem on paying the tax. All the issue is the discrepancies in how much they should deduct from our allowance. That is the bone of contention now. They should come out clearly, explicitly, to say that we are calling on the Ministry of Local Government to come out again to tell all the MMDs how much they should deduct from our allowance. That is the issue that we have now.
Please, can you give me your full name and the constituency you represent?
I am Frank Nelson Aka, the Assemblies A electoral area, the Union National Municipal, and the national president for GAM, Ghana Association of Assembly Members.
Well, we are joined on Zoom by Vincent Yomedo. He's the assembly member for the Pentin electoral area. Grateful for joining us here. Are you sure these deductions are actually going to benefit your constituents? Kindly unmute so we can hear you, sir. Hello, Mr. Yomedo, if you can hear me, I'm asking you to unmute. And I'm asking if you think this tax will actually benefit your own constituent. Well, we'll try and reconnect with Vincent Yomedo. But let me bring you that statement which is on your screen now. A request for a writing document about a tax on Honorable Assembly Members' allowance. And we refer to a letter received from the Ghana Association of Assembly Members on the above subject matter. The ministry writes to inform all MMDAs that under Section 1161 of the Income Tax Act 2015 Act 896, subject to subsection 3, a resident person shall withhold tax at the rate provided for in paragraph 8 for the first schedule, where that person A, pays a service fee with a source in the country to a resident individual. I, as fees allowance to a resident director, manager, trustee, or board member of a company or trust. We clarify that the above provision mandates MMDAs to withhold tax on the monthly allowances paid to Honorable Assembly members. We kindly request that all MMDAs to ensure full compliance with the relevant tax provisions in the disbursement of the Honorable Assembly members' allowance. The ministry relies on your prompt consideration and cooperation. Well, let's try to connect with Vincent Yomedo. If you can hear me, he's joining us on phone around this time. I'm asking if you believe these taxes will genuinely benefit your constituent. Mr. Yomedo, if you can hear me, are you there? Well, we seem not to have Vincent Yomedo, but to other story, the Ghana Journalists Association has set Tuesday, August 19, 2025 for a rerun of its Ashanti Regional Chairman election. This follows a decision by the association's Elections Dispute Adjudication Committee, which found that what it described as a serious procedural irregularities in the June 30 polls. Irregularities, it says, undermined the vote integrity and fairness. According to the association's elections committee, the rerun is aimed at restoring public and internal confidence in the association's electoral process. And I believe you followed that story when the GJA actually ran its election across the country. But we'll bring you details of that story shortly. Moving on, 6 professors recently promoted to the rank of associate professor have been encouraged to take their publications to an international audience. Now, speaking at the second pen ceremony of the College of Education at the University of Ghana, General Secretary of the African Research Universities Alliance, Professor John Owusu-Japan, urged the honorees to mark influence with their pens and make their research resonate beyond Ghana. Mamavi Sefa-Kote has more in the following report.
The conference room of the Great Hall at the University of Ghana was filled to capacity as friends, family and faculty gathered to witness the second pen ceremony of the College of Education. 6 professors were honored and promoted to the rank of Associate Professor, marking a new milestone in their academic journeys. Speaking at the event, General Secretary of the African Universities Research Alliance, Professor John Owusu-Japan, urged the honorees to stand out and gain global recognition through their research.
You have been promoted to the rank of associate professor. To be promoted to that rank, I presuppose that you are an outstanding scholar. The next stage is becoming internationally acknowledged. And that is what I want you to focus your mind on. When you do that, your expertise shows beyond the boundaries of University of Ghana. You begin to wield influence, and you have the reputation.
The chairman of the occasion, Professor Samuel Ni Adikujo, provost of the College of Education, outlined the responsibilities and expectations that come with their new rank.
We believe that the award scheme will promote academic excellence, encourage research, and stimulate the spirit of innovation in the college. To our awardees, congratulations. Your achievements are commendable. I urge you to continue striving for excellence and avoid complacency. Let these recognition be a stepping stone to even greater accomplishments.
Some of the honorees also shared their academic experiences and aspirations with JoyNews, reflecting on their journey and challenges overcome to reach the stage.
My journey has been good. It's not something that you can say is an easy ride, but with God on our side, we're able to do it. Putting papers together, especially conducting research, is a tedious job, and it is something that you will not just walk over it.
Yeah, it calls for more work to be done, and it means I need to work harder, publish more, and to get to the ultimate, which is a full professorship.
The second pen ceremony not only celebrated academic achievement, but also sets the stage for the next chapter in scholarship and global engagement for these 6 professors. Mamavi Sefa-Kote reporting for JoyNews.
Now let's turn our attention to some healthcare stories. The IK unit of the Ghana Health Service is calling on government to resource hospitals in newly created regions with modern eye health facility. Dr. Honameto Afeke, who is the head of the unit, explains that the lack of the state-of-the-art eye care facilities in these hospitals hampers the delivery of quality eye care in the country. Now, speaking at the ceremony organized by the Ophthalmological Society of Ghana to mark International Ophthalmologist Day in Accra, Dr. Afeke also emphasized the need for increased funding for research to enable the country improve eye care in the country, especially in deprived regions.
According to the Ghana Health Service, about 5 million people in the country have varying degrees of visual impairment, representing slightly over 16% of the population. It is also estimated that over 250,000 Ghanaians are blind, with cataract and glaucoma accounting for about 74% of the causes. While addressing the media on the sidelines of a ceremony organized by the Ophthalmological Society of Ghana to mark World Ophthalmology Day, Dr. Honameto Afake, head eye care unit at the Ghana Health Service, lamented the absence of essential eye health equipment, particularly in the newly created regions. He noted that this shortfall has hampered the delivery of quality eye care in the country.
Unfortunately, over the years, we've not received the necessary resources, and so that has affected the service delivery. But I think things are improving now, and we still need resources in terms of equipping of the facilities. You realize in the past we had very few ophthalmologists. Now the number has increased. We have over almost 150 ophthalmologists, but some of them have challenges in their facilities where they are supposed to provide, because our plan is to provide a quality, comprehensive and quality eye service to the people of Ghana. But some of the facilities do not have the necessary resources, so it's important that these facilities are well equipped so that as we increase the number of ophthalmologists, they will be able to provide quality service. Our focus is quality.
Although Ghana has about 150 ophthalmologists, data from the Ghana Health Service indicates that about 70% of these professionals are concentrated in the Greater Accra and Ashanti regions, leaving the remaining 14 regions with minimal personnel. Dr. Jifabella Oforieje, President of the Ophthalmological Society of Ghana, emphasized the need for regular eye checkups to prevent eye diseases.
In Ghana, because we have the highest prevalence of glaucoma, and because glaucoma is a silent disease, as in it doesn't have any symptoms, it's symptomless, we encourage every adult above the age of 30 to visit the ophthalmologist at least once a year to have a comprehensive eye exam, which consists of the doctor asking you to read and then taking a look into your eye and usually putting some eye drops into your eye to look at the back of your eye, which is where glaucoma usually affects.
The society also pledged to continue awareness campaigns aimed at reducing the rate of visual impairment in the country.
Now moving on, Wild West MP Superintendent retired Peter Lanchene Tobo has alleged that unqualified beneficiaries are on the payroll of the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty program in the district. He says several able-bodied persons have been listed, calling it unacceptable. He has urged the district chief executive, Richard Willow, to pay the register. JoyNews Upper West correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Wancheo.
Addressing staff of the Wild West District Assembly, Superintendent retired Peter Lanchene Tobo outlined initiatives he is partnering with the government to address key challenges faced by the people in the road, health and education sectors.
When I mentioned Honorable Haruna Idrisu, the number or the amount of work that he's willing to do for the various districts, including Wild West. Lase Tuolu Senior High School has so many legacy projects abandoned or uncompleted. He's willing to get them done. And if you go to Doromo and see the E-block has been abandoned since 2016. And he has assured me, in collaboration with the Get Fund administrator, that very soon you will have the Doromo E-block completed and put to good use. After the training of those who will be using the drip machines, or the operators and the coordinators, when the rain subsides, we'll put our heads together and put these machines to use so that at least we can work on our roads. It is this road that lead to our farms. These roads lead to our clinics. These roads lead to various areas that make our lives better. Without a good road infrastructure, development cannot progress as we want it. And I'm sure, as I mentioned the name of Honorable Kwame Agoja, he's assured us that under the Big Bush project, right from Wenchi or Ashaiman, all the way to Wa, will be done. And of course, it will pass through Wa West from Newale to Tanina. And I think you should be happy to clap for that.
He also raised the issue of politicization at the assembly and the inclusion of unqualified persons on the livelihoods empowerment against poverty LEAP program in the district, calling for their removal.
LEAP, as we call it, is a project that came to support the vulnerable. I've heard from some quarters that some able-bodied people have gotten their names onto the list of LEAP, and I think that is not acceptable. But sometimes, let's be very careful. If an aged man sends his son to go and collect his LEAP benefit, and you find the son at the center, it might not be the son's name that is there. Probably he's just there to represent his mother or his father. But when you see it, the optics are that these are able-bodied people who have been registered on LEAP. That notwithstanding, I will encourage the DCE to do the needful, review the system, and make sure that people who deserve to benefit from LEAP are the ones who are benefiting from LEAP. And those who do not deserve to be there, get those names out of the list.
Wawa's District Chief Executive Richard Wulu spoke about plans by the government to continue with the self-help electricity project, SEF 5, that has been abandoned since 2016.
We have over 200 communities, but the electricity coverage is below 20% in the district. That is not so good at all. As you are aware, we have electricity projects that were started under the SEF 5 project, that is the Grumu, Viri, Kago, and Varimpere in 2016. When the NDC lost power, these communities are still there as we speak. Nothing has been happening. It is quite refreshing that the Minister of Energy has assured us that these projects will be completed, and pursuant to financial clearance, we may receive additional 45 communities to improve upon the electricity coverage project in the Wa West district.
Superintendent retired Peter Lenchene Tubu later donated 50 life jackets to the Wa West District Assembly for onward distribution to communities that are along the Black Volta. 2 persons drowned at the Black Volta last month on their return from a funeral in Burkina Faso. The Wa West legislature also used the opportunity to address personnel of the Blue Water Guards who will be stationed along the Black Volta to prevent it from being polluted. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam. Wachao.
And before we go, the Ghana Journalists Association has set Friday, August 21, 2025 for a rerun of 8th Ashanti Regional Chairman election. This follows a decision by the association's Elections Dispute Adjudication Committee, which found what it described as serious procedural irregularities in the June 30 polls. Irregularities has undermined the vote integrity and fairness. According to the association's Elections Committee, the rerun is aimed at restoring public and internal confidence in the association's electoral process. Now, let's bring you that statement, which will be on your screen shortly from the association. And there you have it. And I write for and on behalf of the Ghana Journalists Association, and to extend a national executive appreciation to you and your officers for supervising our national election, which was held on June 30, 2025 across the country. Though the poll was successful in all regions, that of the Ashanti region was challenged, leading to adjudication. Now, following a decision by the Association Elections Dispute Adjudication Committee for a rerun, the Association's Elections Committee has fixed Friday, August 22, 2025 for the rerun in Kumasi. We therefore request the Commission to help supervise the rerun on the announced date, which will take place at the Commission's regional office in Kumasi. We count on your support. Please accept the highest compliment of the National Executive. So that's a statement from the Ghana Journalists Association. We'll bring you details from that rerun. And that's all we have time for here on JoyNews Prime. You can log on to myjoyonline.com for more stories. My name is Carlos Caloni. Bye-bye.